first page I flipped to. It's just the thing. He's shattered.
Mike.
His eyes are bulging.
Mike.
He's like, I holla, but I ain't got a mouth.
Mike. It's time to start the show.
Oh, let's do it. What's up, everybody?
Any given Wednesday.
This could be any given Wednesday.
Episode 2.
We're still working on the intro music. We're trying to workshop a couple different things, and if you listen to the Till the Cows Come Home podcast, we talk a little bit behind the scenes about how that's going. But this is Any Given Wednesday, and you got co-host here. I'm Mike Fenwick, and then across from me,
Spencer Bunting.
it's Spencer Bunting, and that makes this the Any Given Wednesday podcast. Man, some exciting stuff this week, yeah?
It was an interesting weekend.
Interesting weekend. What'd you do this weekend?
I went to a wedding,
Yeah?
and here in North Carolina, it was cold AF on Saturday, and they got married outside.
Ooh.
So that was interesting. And then Sunday, I just chilled. I ended up going to Blue Ox again.
Nice.
It's becoming a weekend thing.
Nice. I wasn't able to make it to a comic store because I had some plans getting married. So.
Oh yeah, when did you get married?
March 28th.
So
had to think about that.
that's a week after mine.
Oh my god. That joke's gonna keep.
It's only gonna grow.
I know. You're gonna actually confuse me.
I'm hoping to bring part of this audience in at some point.
The week before my wedding, I'm like, there's something that I have to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. But
I'm just gonna invite you to a mystery event on
Yeah.
Saturday.
What is this?
That
Oh,
Saturday.
they're getting wedding.
Yeah, they're getting weddinged.
They're getting weddinged.
I did say the other day I was talking to Ryan and I told her a certificate of weddingship.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
What is that? How's that different?
It's
different
nothing.
from a
It's a marriage certificate.
marriage license.
Yeah, marriage license. But I was like, a certificate of weddingship, and she's like, that's not even a thing. Anyway, that's not why we're here.
No, it should be though. Like through all the planning that you go through in a wedding,
You should get a certificate.
you should get a certificate. Like, dude, you did this.
You
planned
passed.
all of this.
You passed the wedding, yeah.
You're still sane. Anyways, let's jump into this. We had some cool news come out since the last time we were filming, and that is
Or rumors.
are some rumors. Yeah, I
Right.
guess we can't say news, but we
Yeah.
can say some rumors.
However, it is funny that they picked up, the news stations picked it up, and were like reporting it as news, but it was actually a fan started rumor.
That's how things get started, though. That's how some of the best things get started.
I don't know if I would want this to come true though.
Oh, dude. Okay, so we have different opinions. About
We haven't even talked about these.
I know.
opinions.
I know. Okay. So you want to unveil it for us?
Yeah. So this week, Friday, Saturday, I think it was rumored or revealed that Henry Cavil was going to be cast as Wolverine in the new, I think it's Captain Marvel 2, where he makes his first appearance in the MCU.
Yeah, I didn't see what movie it was actually going to be.
So
but
the clip they looked back on was that same clip from the end of one of the Wolverine movies recently with Hugh Jackman back in 2014, I guess. But when he's on the private jet and he opens it up and it's the yellow suit. So that's what they were talking about. And they were talking about Henry Cavil. And if you don't know who Henry Cavil is, he's the same person who played Superman.
And then more recently, I don't know the character's name, but he's in The Witcher.
He plays The Witcher.
Yeah,
I mean,
The Witcher.
I don't know his name, but they call him Witcher. Witcher.
Witcher.
Anyway, so I have personal feelings that I don't think he should be the fella playing him.
Oh, man.
But also, we can talk about that in a little bit when we get
Yeah.
into history of Wolverine. But then there's also, when I was researching this and reading about this, watching videos, etc., I found out Hugh Jackman actually hated the yellow suit. He refused to wear it. That's why
I can only imagine why.
That's why you never saw him wear it or saw it used anywhere throughout any of the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
He always had kind of that like nomadic look or just like rugged biker, depending on what era they start showing Wolverine at. He always had that kind of like living on the streets look, ain't take a shower in a couple weeks look.
Yeah, I can do that too with the whole like. I was like, I actually thought about walking in here like that with my beard all.
Oh, dude,
out.
if you would have shaved everything
Yeah.
and had the
I'm not that hardcore.
that would have been sick. Give it to him.
Oh,
Yeah, what?
sorry.
Yeah, what would you look like for the viewers?
It's like this.
Just out there,
It's very long right now.
dude. You have the facial hair to do it.
This
I don't.
This is how he looks in the comics. This is how Wolverine looks. He doesn't have like the crazy sideburns or whatever.
I think I could get maybe 5-year-old Wolverine down with the amount of facial hair. I have.
5-year-old Wolverine,
Yeah.
or like the Wolverine after he's regenerated.
Can you imagine going to? Can you imagine going to like a cosplay? And it's like, oh, dude, what Wolverine are you, dude? I'm 5-year-old Wolverine.
I'm 5-year-old Wolverine. Okay,
It's taken me weeks to grow
Yeah.
this.
I've worked really hard on this costume.
Oh no, who am I? Yeah, I'm Wolverine. I just recently got my face ripped off, and
Yeah.
this hair follicles haven't grown back yet.
I'm Wolverine 30 seconds after death.
I nailed it, right?
That would be good.
Oh man. Okay, so all right, let's jump in this. Also, there's a lot of funny memes that have come out of this when I was looking through it. We can get to those, but okay. So let's sort this out. So you are not a fan of Henry Cavill. Is it Cavill? Clavel?
It's
I always
Cavill.
get confused. Cavill.
It's Cavill.
So you're not a fan.
Cavil.
You're not a fan of him being Wolverine?
No.
No.
First of all, like I'm not a huge Marvel person, but I do like. I've always enjoyed X-Men. But there's Wolverine. Even with Hugh Jackman, didn't make sense. He played an excellent character. He did a good job as Logan, but he's also 6'3". Henry
Hugh
Cavill.
Jackman?
Henry Cavill
Yeah.
6'3".
He's a big dude.
Wolverine's supposed to be 5'2",
Mm-hmm.
and he's also supposed to be 300 pounds.
Yeah. Well,
He's 180
Yes.
pounds, but then his
adamantium skeleton.
yeah, it's
Adamantium.
it puts him at 300 pounds. So I just don't think it fits the
He's thick.
yeah, it's stout.
He's stout.
Marvel's done a good job of sticking to the comics, but I think they would not do a very good job by using him. He's got the jawline for it,
Yeah, he's got the jawline.
you know.
I think he's got, as an actor, I think he's got the personality or like the passion to play the role. Like I loved him in Superman. I was talking to one of my friends the other day about it. Like I'm not the biggest DC fan, but that first Superman movie where you see him and like you see Henry Cavill play Superman, I loved it. That's like one of the few DC films that like I go back and watch a lot, especially the scene where like he's on the oiler, or is it like the big oil? I don't know what do you call it. What are those things out in the ocean?
An oil rig.
Oil rig.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, he killed that.
Yeah.
And that was like that. Could be that burly. If you just put some more hair on him, make him more like feral and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. But then then everyone's gonna see he's Superman.
Yeah.
His X-Men character is gonna be unless he has a beard the entire time like Wolverine does.
That's the thing too that I was thinking about like reading it. Like he was very
And Wolverine doesn't have one all the time, but
yeah. He was like almost very proper, I guess, or very
he's very much like the gentleman's man.
yeah. But Wolverine is not that.
No.
So he would have to
No,
take on that aggressive attitude, and I don't know. I could see it though. I could see it. I'd be really excited too, because like I think he killed Superman. The guy is that Henry Cavill himself is a big nerd from what we've seen him taking on the role in like The Witcher and stuff.
Yeah, so that's another thing. He's in that 5-year contract with The Witcher, I think.
Yeah, when's he
I think
gonna
it's
have the
like
time
5
to?
years, yeah.
Yeah, when's he gonna have the time to pull off Wolverine? Although it could
Or
be
can he?
Or can he?
I don't know because, Netflix and Marvel broke up when Disney bought Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So, or Disney Plus came out, rather. They bought Marvel several years ago. But, they acquired Marvel by acquiring Fox.
Yeah.
Which Fox owned it. Man, I remember back in the day, like FX, you'd see X-Men 1 and X-Men 2. Remember watching all those?
It would be on the TV all the time.
Yeah, that's what they showed all the time.
It's one of those things where I don't think I've watched every single X-Men movie that's come out. Oh, no, I take that back. I've seen every single X-Men movie come out, but maybe 10 minutes of every movie.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't watched any full-length X-Men movie.
I haven't watched any of, like, The Class, whatever it's called, First Class.
First Class?
Yeah,
That one was okay.
I just couldn't. So, who was it that played Mystique way back in the day?
Way back in the day?
Yeah.
I don't
in,
know.
like,
They got the chick
X2.
from Hunger Games to play
Yeah,
her.
so when
I can't.
Jennifer Lawrence played
Yeah.
her, I was like,
J-Law.
this felt weird. So it got me looking into Wolverine to learn a few things about him.
Yeah.
Because I've never read the comics. I'm starting to. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I looked it up. So the adamantium skeleton is how you pronounce that.
Yep.
So that's one of his power / ability. This is from Marvel.com/characters. They have all their characters in the universe listed out.
Yeah.
So this is the comics profile. This is comics. Impermeable skin is what they consider it. Wolverine's nearly impermeable skin protects him from projectiles and sharp weapons. He also has healing powers, which explains your baby face.
Yeah.
If he does get into a scuffle, Wolverine's healing powers kick in. Enhanced senses and samurai trained. Wolverine knows his way around a sword and hand-to-hand combat.
It helps to have 3 of them in your forearms, or each forearm.
So what I would love to see, so this is some of the things I would love to see. I would love to see a Wolverine Blade movie.
Oh my gosh. That would
Dude,
actually be really cool.
That'd
be a sick crossover. Can we get this?
Yeah.
Please.
If you're listening, Marvel, please go there.
Oh man, that would be sick.
I'm not too interested in Captain America movie because I'm kind of over Captain America, to be honest. And Captain Marvel, they've all but confirmed that Wolverine's going to be in Captain Marvel 2, which is already being filmed, I believe. That's MCU Phase 4, which we can talk about. And then Kitty Pryde would be cool because that's someone we haven't seen.
We see her for a little bit in one of the X-Men movies, but not to no extent. You see her run through some walls, and that's the one with Colossus too, where they're trying to escape out the mansion.
Yeah.
I don't know what X-Men movie that is, but yeah, we see her very briefly.
I want to see the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, as villains in one of these movies, and I want to see Egghead.
Just the name alone has me intrigued. Well, so like coming up, so Marvel had acquired Disney, who has acquired Marvel and Fox, and we can talk about that later. I think we got some more news talking about Disney and
hold on, I'm not done, man. You're rushing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm saying
there's also
coming back to it.
I think if they could go with Blade, but then X-23, which is like one of his relatives.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. But I was thinking about this. So we talked about this on Till the Cows Come Home about if we were, for those of you that don't know what that is, listening or watching, that's our kind of like weekly debrief at React Radio, where we just kind of all sit around the table, all the hosts, and just talk through the week and what happened, and then anything we didn't get to talk about in our particular show. We talked about what our superhero powers would be, what our superpowers would be. If you could have adamantium. I can't speak. Adamantium skeleton, impermeable skin, healing powers, enhanced senses, or samurai trained background, which would you choose and why?
Probably the enhanced senses. I don't want the healing powers because, like we've seen with Logan's arc, he's tormented by it. I mean, he loses his memory a couple of times, but the times that he doesn't lose his memory, he just sees like the worst parts of humanity, and he keeps reliving it. And every day to him is just like, oh, how can humanity get even worse than it has before? But so yeah, the senses would be great to be able to like smell someone a mile away, or be able to. There's a couple instances like where I've read with Wolverine, you can tell who has come into the room just by how he, like his senses combined. He's able to tell like, oh, I can smell this certain musk or whatever, so I know who's in here. I think that tracking and his animal-like senses.
I think it's also the, like you touched on about he's seen the worst in humanity within the comics, and within what I've read so far, just in getting backstory as I've picked up comics this weekend, is he's also seen the worst of himself.
Yeah.
Like, he comes back from almost dying, and he's either left alone or left with like just immeasurable sadness, but he doesn't. That's why like he's so cold, and I guess strong would be another word, but he's so cold and unaffected, unbothered by a lot of that stuff.
Which
Brooding.
power would you choose?
Brooding. Let's see. I probably would go with the samurai trained.
Samurai trained.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like it'd be like that cool party trick.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Like, oh man, you got a broom? Give me that shit. You know?
Can you imagine people like that dude knows his way around a samurai sword?
Be like, hey Jerry, catch that mop. I'll fuck you up.
Yeah. You can't lie. Having 3 swords each in your arm, that wouldn't be half bad either.
Yeah. But that's also, it can't beat that.
But it's weird too, because like the only reason he can have those and they don't mess him up all the time is due to his like regenerative health. Like I don't know if you've seen the movies and stuff, they pierce through his knuckles every time. So you got to have that health, or you're just gonna have scarred up skin and I don't know.
You can't have one.
No, you can't have it.
We chose one, but we can't have one.
Yes.
I'm really big on like superheroes being trained to be excellent, because I'm a big proponent of like any skill out there, anything that exists with enough willpower and dedication, you can learn it. Like you may be gifted in areas, but if I'm not gifted in something, I can still learn it. I just have to work harder than you. So I like that in a good superhero. That's why Batman's one of my favorite.
So along with the rumors that Henry Cavill will be X-Men, there's also been rumors of a couple X-Men that are going to be featured in this next phase that Marvel's doing. So back in 2019, Disney acquired Fox, and Fox had the rights to X-Men. So now X-Men can be included in this Marvel universe. And if you've been following the Marvel universe, they've hit a good restart point, I guess. I mean, we just went through all the Infinity Wars, and those movies were a huge hit. And now I think Marvel has the audience, and it's like, now we have a couple extra tools. Let's put them together. And I'm actually really excited this, because like you, I love the X-Men. Like coming up or growing up, I found one of my Halloween costumes a couple weeks ago, and it was the old Wolverine yellow and blue suit and had the plastic claws and everything. So I love the X-Men.
Should have wore that.
I should have wore it. Yeah, I should have wore it here today. That would have been.
Should have walked in with awesome. Your mask on.
But here are the 5 X-Men that are rumored to be coming up MCU in Phase 4. We got Storm, who's rumored to make an appearance in Black Panther 2, which would be awesome. We have Beast, who could show up in WandaVision. And again, these are all rumors. Nothing's been like confirmed. These are just things that fans have put together, either reading through, I guess, just their connection to the community and like the people within it.
And these are all confirmed movies.
Yeah, these are confirmed movies or shows.
This is just speculations of who could be in these confirmed movies. Right.
Yeah, but knowing that Disney now has the acquisition of Fox and the X-Men, these are possibilities that could happen, which could be cool. So we got Storm, we got Beast, Psylocke, which we've seen a little bit of her, and there's a lot of like confusion around her powers and stuff, whether like how strong she actually is. Like sometimes her powers get really downplayed, and then other times she's godlike. So it'd be interesting to see. And this one was rumored to be in the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I haven't even heard anything. Shang-Chi. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. And I haven't even really heard about it. So I'd be interested to learn a little bit more about that. Then we have Magic, who will be coming up in the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which would be pretty cool. And then the last one is, which I would be super excited about, would be Professor Xavier, also in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I want to see Professor Xavier in a better light.
Better light?
Yeah. So,
working legs, maybe?
Yeah. But I want to see like younger, but not first class younger. Mm. You know, I want to see like his own tale, not as a collective group. And I know it doesn't work without, like, there's going to be things, but I want to see, like, I like the origin stories. So seeing how he dealt with accepting his abilities, because, you know, in the X-Men universe, he champions in helping people accept their differences as mutants. So, like, how did he come to that? How did he get there? And how long did it take? What did it look like? Who helped him along the way? You know, just more backstory there.
Yeah. I agree. Even as a
Overall-
kid, that'd be cool to see like
Yeah.
the struggles he went through as a kid, how he's handling his powers, because he's like the mentor to all these mutants, who was his mentor, and
Yeah.
and kind of that story arc.
And overall, like, I think just in the Marvel-esque way, I think they're better storytellers than how Fox did it.
Yeah, I would agree
I think Magic and that 10 Rings deal, whatever it was called.
with Psylocke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Legend of the 10 Rings. They I think those two won't do that well just because they're so magic focused and they're like kind of not weird, but they're not like action comics, you know?
The problem is a majority. I don't want to say the majority, but there is a good chunk of that community that are like me and love. I just want to see things explode. I just want to see like Michael Bay style films.
Or you want to see a story that not makes sense, but a story that drives.
Yeah, maybe easy to digest, because a lot of these magic movies, there's so much behind it that maybe you don't understand in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like there's so much you have to know going into the movie that doesn't make it enjoyable.
So with Disney acquiring Fox and already owning Marvel, that also kind of leads into more news that broke. I think it was Thursday. It was Friday after we were leaving the office Friday, and saw that Bob Igor had stepped down.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Bob Igor is,
It's Thursday, it wasn't Friday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Bob Igor is, he was the CEO of Disney, who is now stepped down into a. We were talking about this earlier. Is it a board role, or is he into?
Yeah, he's stepping down into some sort of chairman of the board, but not exactly. It's just like a transition period, but to keep it very smooth. Executive chairman, his contract doesn't expire until 2021, but he has stepped down. I mean, the news broke and he had already done it. Like It wasn't like a he will. And he cites self-awareness and leadership.
For his reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, the name, you may not be familiar with the name.
Well, it's effective tomorrow, actually. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You may not know the name, but this is the CEO of Disney for the past 14 years. And what Disney has done in the past 14 years is mind-blowing. I was talking to you earlier about this. Did we witness possibly one of the greatest CEOs? I know we've witnessed the greatest CEO of Disney. Has to be. With all the acquisitions that Disney's had in like the past couple, maybe decade.
Yeah, I mean, except for Walt.
Except for Walt, yeah. Except, for the
except for like the guy
who started it all.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
But we may, and I even made the statement that we may have witnessed one of the best CEOs in history.
Yeah.
If we let me see if I can find the number where they were talking about. So like they acquired Marvel, and then they acquired Lucasfilms. It's a Star Wars and all that, which I was super excited about, and a lot of people don't. That's a whole nother tangent. I'll get on. Yeah. I'm trying to find the number of the acquisition of Fox because it blew my mind. And, everybody thinks like the big acquisitions were Marvel and Lucasfilm, but then when you look at the number that they had to pay to acquire Fox and all the assets of that, that was it blew my mind. But I say all that to just fully cement how big of a playmaker this guy was for Disney, and it's crazy to hear the news that he is stepping down and early.
Well, he created a monopoly,
yeah,
on entertainment, truly, and which is beyond impressive. And people don't realize like he championed in when they purchased ESPN and all of Fox, and like you said, and Marvel and
Pixar
too. Like it's crazy. Like you've always heard Disney Pixar, always.
Yeah.
Like for as long as we can remember, we've always heard Disney Pixar, and it's now just commonplace that he owns it. I mean, not owns it, but he championed that in for the most part. But Inc. magazine says, or Inc.com, says that many leaders believe that the success they've had in the past will continue indefinitely. As a result, most leaders stick around far longer than they should and end up being forced out after their performance falters. In fact, for many companies, figuring out who will lead a company next is one of the greatest risks for their future success. That's what makes Iger's move a good lesson for every entrepreneur. There comes a point when a good leader recognizes that they've accomplished what they set out to do, and it's time to transition to whatever is next for themselves and their company. So I think he's been planning this because Disney Plus launched. Mandalorian in itself is make that whole thing successful. And then his new book came out. I think he was just getting through all that and then like, okay, time for me to go do something next.
Right. And that's the sign of a good businessman that knows when the right time to leave is. And we were talking about this earlier. I think you and Chris are probably, it'd be a cool topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Either Bob Iger's journey going through Disney. I know you said Chris had read that book, so maybe that's something y'all talk about on Agency Basement.
Yeah, he asked me about it recently, but I haven't read it.
That'll be on one of our sister podcasts, and you can check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and I found the number for Fox acquisition. Do you want to take a guess at how much that was?
Let's see, like over 300 billion.
Oh, okay.
Not that high.
Not that high, but it's 71.3 billion.
Oh yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
71.3.
Yeah, $1 billion. $1 billion.
I mean, Mike Bloomberg could have bought that and still ran for president.
Yeah, I know. But would he have done as well creating?
Yeah, I think that's what it shows. Is like shows his whole career with Disney as being doing it well. What he did, he set his vision out well, and he also people don't understand. He also was involved in a lot of day-to-day creative stuff, and he is a creative by chance. So him stepping away from that immediately, but still being in this executive chairman role, it allows us like. This can be successful without me being a part of it, which is really cool and really great. And then there's also he leads the way and shows a lot of other entrepreneurs that leaving well is still part of your legacy. Right. Like he left in a good way.
Exactly.
While it is abrupt to the general public, he left on top as opposed to like Inc. magazine said, or Inc.com, excuse me. Anyway, that's
all the news, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens with Wolverine.
Yes. Fingers crossed. I hope it comes true.
Yeah. No. I'm not going to fingers crossed. So that leads me to what I got this week.
Yeah. Jumbo, what you got this week?
So they came out with a new Wolverine, and
speaking of Wolverine,
this is the first issue of Wolverine. It came out actually 2 weeks ago, February 19th. This is the premiere variant. It's a pretty hefty book.
Yeah.
It's about I haven't read the whole thing yet, but it's about the thickness of 3 normal comics. So this is the premiere variant. You see all the white here. The standard variant is much lighter up top, and then this is darker. And then there is a variant A, I believe, where Logan is smoking a cigar. Like he's in a leather jacket. Like he looks like Logan. He doesn't look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I've read of this so far is really good.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it goes. There was a lot of hype around this. There was a trailer. We can put that in the link description.
Go check out that trailer. It's really cool, and I think the storyline they're going to be going for.
We just need to make a note. Put that in the description.
Yeah, most definitely. The storyline, like highlights, is pretty much Logan has hit like this paradise, and he doesn't know how to act. Because like we were talking about earlier, whole Logan's life has just been witnessing the worst parts about humanity and himself, and now he doesn't know how to act like when he's in this paradise.
Well, yeah, it starts off that particular comic starts off with him playing hide and seek with a bunch of kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, he's hiding, and they're like, oh, are you playing hide and seek? And he says, it's X-23. She's like, are you playing hide and seek? And he's like, no, I was teaching him wilderness survival skills. But he's like all like
he has to cover it
all
up.
happy and everything, you know. Yeah. And Jean comes and like pulls him out, like snatches him out because no one can find him. But at the time, I mean, in the comics, he's 5'3" and tiny and stout, you know, so he can hide pretty easily.
Yeah. Hide behind some shrubbery.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't able to make it to the comic store this week, but my boy here hooked me up and got the comic that I was most excited for, and that was the Fantastic Four Grim Noir. I haven't had a chance to read it, but
I read it.
Did you like it?
It was good.
You like it? Yeah. It
was good.
Yeah. So I was asking you this earlier. With the whole noir background, was it dark? And you were telling me it's more about...
It's dark, and it feels very like 60s-ish in the way it's shot and the way it's taken, way it's adapted, I guess. But it's more so about him dealing with the thing, like him, and how he comes to terms with it. Because so not to spoil it, but it's about him facing the demons inside of him and deciding who's in control of his life.
Right.
And it's weird. So we can talk about this off this tomorrow, whenever you get done reading it. Just let me know. We'll talk about it. But there's part of it that doesn't make sense to me because it's like from dream world to real world. But
flashbacks.
They like it's like they cross over in real time, and I don't understand if I'm not reading it correctly, or if it's meant to be that weird. But overall, it's pretty cool. It's good. It's good. I would read the next version.
Okay, cool. I'll be looking out for that then.
Yeah. Again, I don't follow Fantastic Four really, so I'm not gonna go hop into. I think it's like issue number 20 or something like that.
Right.
This story picks up, but overall, it's good.
Did you like the artwork in it?
Yeah, it's good.
I was first expecting it all to be in black and white.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised it has color.
So I'm gonna take this out really quick and show you.
Yeah.
If you're listening online,
This is for the Wolverine.
If you're listening and listening to some ASMR. Producer just went, ugh. I did pick up Batman 1020 as well. Blue Ox does not carry detective variants, so I couldn't get the variant cover I wanted, but I did get a version. So they have this they're using this kind of old 70s-esque looking
oh, I love that
scientific writing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So if you can see that, it looks very, very mechanical. There's another one. It's
like an owner's manual.
It's better.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So both Mike and I both have day jobs as designers, so we appreciate things like that. But see, it's got almost like print lines.
I love that. That's really cool.
This is context into what you're reading, but it's written as if it's actual technical research papers. Yeah. So this is about pollen, which is a new drug taking over, which is what's in this hand here.
Right.
Anyway, if you're listening online, you can't see any of this stuff. Or if you're just listening while you're driving or whatever, but
you can check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, check us out on YouTube, and you can see the video here. But it is neat to see that type of stuff and seeing how graphic design is trickling over into the comics in this particular issue. Excuse me.
Speaking about that leads me to what I'm most excited for in this upcoming week. Like Spencer was saying, we both work in design for our day job. And then I was excited to find out my boy Alex Ross, one of my favorite artists, is coming out with a new storyline this week. It's just called Marvel #1. And he talks about Alex Ross and having his vision for a new series showing Marvel heroes in a way they'd never been seen before. So not only are we going to see different artwork, Alex Ross is very prevalent in the scene, and if you haven't had a chance to look at his stuff yet, go check it out. He does very realistic, airy drawings. I don't know how to describe it. It looks super realistic, and one of the things he does really well is that he's able to draw spandex on dudes really well. It's the worst thing or the weirdest thing I'll probably say, but you can see the creases and stuff. Yeah,
we talked about you getting married to Clark.
I know, but you can see the creases when their arms bend and stuff, and it's like a sense of realism that. I don't know. It makes you connected. And it's these are actual people with crazy superpowers.
There's a piece in here. Sorry, just manhandle your comment.
No.
There's a page in here. Since I showed a page from mine, I want to show a page from this one that's really... Oh, this here. So if we can show my camera, I guess this way. It's okay. Here, show Mike's camera. That's fine, yeah. Anyway, I would describe it, but it shows the thing falling from a pit, and he puts himself back together as he's falling. It's really dark, but it's right here. It's really interesting. Yeah. And then the spiral on the other side that you can see, it's really neat. There's some really good artwork in this one, but it is dark. And then this here, she's tangled up singing. It's so dark, camera can't even see it.
Oh, we can just take shots of it and put it up.
Yeah, we can just throw it up there like that. But so speaking of this week's from last week, I almost bought Spider-Ham.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it on the racks. I'm excited.
They've
about
got it on
it.
the rack. I refrained. I was like, should I get it? Should I get it? And I was like, nah.
Oh, you totally should. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get it. I'm guessing it's supposed to be a comedy.
I don't know. I didn't even look at it. I could have picked it up. They didn't have it in this.
Got you.
They didn't have it in a protector yet.
I'm gonna break the rules a little bit too, because there's 2 of them I'm really excited for this week.
Well, Marvel #1, you were excited last week.
Yeah, I was excited last week, and I found out it wasn't coming out last week, but now it is coming out this week. And that release date is March the 4th. The other one I'm excited about, sticking with this noir trend, I am very excited about Spider-Man Noir. So there's my little pop figure here.
Is that issue 1?
It's issue 1, so it's a new story. Murder and Mystery in the Mighty Marvel Manor. Dateline 1939. So I'm excited to just read Spider-Man, but back in the 30s and 40s. But, and the artwork's really cool too.
This is
Can't wait to get my hands on that.
We've got to get our views up because this is dangerous. Because I almost bought Daily Bugle, and I almost bought Spider-Ham. I mean, comics aren't crazy expensive, but when I walk out with 20 of them,
it adds up.
Yeah. But so I'm going to be picking up. I need to contact one of the local shops and make sure they get a variant cover for this, because I only want this because of the variant cover. It's Strange Adventures, and it's Mr. Miracle story. This is issue #1. So it's and Adam Strange is the main character.
Cool.
Yeah. So but they have this variant cover where they put Stranger. Maybe we can see this, but it's him with his helmet. But then on it, maybe I can zoom in, and on it, yeah, there we go. It's been written on with X's over his eyes, and it says "I kill you," and then Stranger Danger. That's
like the classic comic book cover.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it looks like someone is graffitiing on it.
Yeah. It's like and it says Space War. I mean, I only want it because of the variant cover. Same thing with Batman 1020, because this is the other one. This is the other cover. Will it load up? No. It's got colorful birds in it. I'm not getting that.
That is cool.
It's cool, but it's like the other one's way better. Which one would you pick up off the shelf if you're walking past?
The other one. The first one, yes.
Yeah. So it's the synopsis here is Adam Strange is the hero of Ron, a man famous throughout the galaxy for his bravery and honor. After leading his adopted home to victory in a great planetary war, Adam and his wife Alana retire to Earth, where they are greeted by cheers, awards, and parades, but not all of it is happy and nice as it seems, as the decisions Adam made during the battles on Ron came back to haunt his family and threaten the entire DC universe. And now a surprise DC hero will have to choose between saving Adam Strange and saving the world.
That's cool.
I think it's pretty cool. And if I can't get the variant in person, I probably would just order offline.
Order offline.
Yeah.
Speaking about variant covers, there's the Thor comic. I know I talked about it last episode. They had a variant cover of the first issue, and if you're reading it, it's when Thor gets all his powers from Galactus, and it's just like his headshot, but it looks like a 70s comic. I don't know. It's really cool. I picked that one up. But yeah.
That's the second one you're picking up?
Well, I've already picked up that one. We were just talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's the one from
last week.
They're saying that this book here, the Strange Adventures #1, is one of the most anticipated of 2020.
Ooh.
Along with this one here, the Wolverine 1, yeah. But they've been hyping Wolverine 1 since July of last year.
They've built up the hype for it.
Yeah.
Their fans are ready. Just give it to me.
I mean, it's great. That's great. But it's also, this will be the last thing I say, but it's also just good to see Marvel still. I mean, it was actually produced by Marvel, not just the comic book community and the writers, but it was actually produced by Marvel as a whole, and still buying into the comics, because the comic book industry as a whole is only $1 billion a year, and one of their movies makes twice of that.
Yeah,
so it's supporting the community for the community's sake is really good.
Yes, for the future of it.
So anyway, subscribe and show people that they actually care. We actually care about comics, so they keep it with us. And then this week we're going to do something different. So instead of video and audio for reading the list and us splitting it up, we're going to take turns reading the entire list. It's going to be audio only. So if you were here for the commentary about what's coming out this week and news in the comic and the comic book and movie world, thank you for tuning in. And we're here every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. is when these premiere. And then if you're here for the list of what's coming out next week, stick around for audio only. And we will have timestamps in the description of between Marvel, DC, and Indie Comics. Mike's going to champion in this first week, and I will take over next week. But with that, this has been Any Given Wednesday. I'm your host, Spencer Bunting.
And I'm Mike Fenwick.
Thank you.
Now, let's jump into it. Here's what we got coming out for Marvel week of March 4th, 2020. We got Daredevil number 19, Marauders number 9. We got Excalibur number 8, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 16, Savage Avengers number 11, Black Cat number 10, Doctor Doom number 6, one I'm personally excited about. Started reading that and it's pretty good. The Magnificent Miss Marvel number 13, Spider-Verse number 6, Doctor Strange number 4. Got a new series coming out called Strange Academy number 1, Iron Man 2020 number 3, Strike Force number 7, my pick of the week, Spider-Man Noir number 1, and my other pick of the week, Marvel number 1. Hop on those two, follow along with me. Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda number 7, Swordmaster number 9, Conan Battle for the Serpent Crown number 2. Might pick that one up just for the title. 2020 Rescue number 1, that's a beginning of a new story. Robert E. Howard's Dark Angels number 2. True Believers Empire Mantis number 1, and then True Believers Empire Marvel number 1. And that's all our releases for Marvel this week. Let's jump over to DC. For DC, we got Batman number 90. We got The Flash number 750. Justice League number 42. Harley Quinn number 71. Justice League Odyssey number 19. We got Strange Adventures number 1. Lois Lane number 9. Superman Villains number 1. Daphne Byrne number 3. Superman Giant number 2. Dollars Comic Swamp Thing number 57. Generation Lock number 5. Dollar Comics JLA Year 1 number 1. And that's all we got for DC this week. Let's hop over to our most pulled indie comics. So these will be the ones that are most pulled this week. I'll read a couple of them. We can get really deep into this, but here we go. For indie comics this week, March 4, 2020, we have Birthright number 42 by Image Comics, Farmhand number 14 by Image Comics. We got Sonic the Hedgehog number 26, which the movie just came out recently, yeah? New animated movie, so if you go check that out. Sonic the Hedgehog number 26 by IDW Publishing. We got Mirka Andolfo's Mercy number 1 by Image, Unearthed number 6 by Image, The Marked 5 number 5, Image Comics. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends number 22, IDW Publishing. We got Transformers Galaxies number 5, and then rounding out the top, we got Ghostbusters Year 1 number 2 by IDW Publishing. And that's all our releases this week. Thank you for tuning in, and if you've stuck around, you can always go check out our audio podcast. We're on Spotify and SoundCloud, and catch us next week for any more updates.
Any Given Wednesday is a React Radio production. All contents are filmed and edited in the React studio. For past episodes, as well as our sister shows, check out reactradionc.com. Thanks for listening.